Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to try rolling just straight into this one because the subject for today's video is not just a single Gunpla model or miniature, but a Gunpla diorama. A diorama is something I wanted to do since day one, and now that I finally tackled it, I'm excited to share it with y'all. The first subject in the diorama, which some people may have guessed if they saw my posts, is the Gundam Deathscythe from Gundam Wing. Just to touch briefly on my thoughts on the model kit as a Gunpla, I feel about it very similarly to how I felt about the Gundam Heavy Arms, if you watch that video. It's very similar in quality and build. The only thing it doesn't have is the gimmicks with the weapon bay doors opening up, which, I mean, its MO is very different than the weapon vomit of the Gundam Heavy Arms, so that's to be expected. Painting the major parts of the Deathscythe was pretty standard, as I've kind of figured out a rhythm as it comes to painting Gunpla. However, there were some new things that I did that I would like to show off. The first thing I'd like to show off is the Gundam's namesake weapon, the beam scythe. Previous beam weapons I painted on the channel, I did using the technique of painting the blade white and then brushing over it with an army painter effect paint. However, the effect that has is somewhat inconsistent, and I thought that might really show through on the large blade of the scythe. So I decided to tackle it differently by doing a layered airbrushing technique with some fluorescent airbrush paints. I think this will be the approach I take to beam weapons from now on, as the effect is really cool looking and a lot cleaner than the brush-on effects paints I had been using. I might reserve those for smaller details on miniatures rather than for larger model use. The second thing I want to highlight with the Deathscythe build is a return to the AK Interactive weathering pencils that I first used in the Gundam Heavy Arms video. I refined the application of the weathering pencils and used a more deliberate and focused technique rather than the haphazard slapdash way I was applying them to the Heavy Arms when I was first testing them out. But I also, instead of using black wash to paint in the panel lines, I used a feature of the weathering pencils wherein they can be water activated as they are an oil-based pencil, and use the pencil to draw around the panel lines I wanted and used a damp brush to brush in the pigment from the weathering pencil into the lines. And it creates a lot of a starker and broader panel line than I was achieving just using black wash. The second subject of the diorama is Oz's mainstay mobile suit, the Leo. Now, we're breezing past pretty much the vast majority of the painting and construction of the Leo, as the second video on this channel was completely dedicated to that same model. So if you want to see that, go watch that video. However, there's some stuff I do want to focus down on the Leo, namely what I did to it for this diorama. As being a diorama, capturing a scene in action like a stop frame, something needed to happen to this Leo. The Gundam Deathscythe needs a victim, and that led me to doing something that I previously didn't think I was ever going to do to a model. After the somewhat harrowing experience of taking a cutting wheel to something I'd spent multiple hours on building and painting, I had to make that straight cut mark look like an actual beam weapon slash. And to accomplish this, I went back through the groove cut in by the cutting wheel and put hot glue into it. And after filling the groove with hot glue, I went back with the heated element from the hot glue gun and melted a groove into that, well, hot glue. I'm saying hot glue a lot. And this melted cut look is brought home by a use of, similar to how I've painted the beam scythe and the beam saber that the Leo is holding, a layered airbrushing with fluorescent airbrush paints. And to try and sell the idea that this is a freeze frame from the Gundam anime, I tried to recreate the classic crackling lightning on a mobile suit that's about to explode. To do this, I took some thin copper wire and bent it into the rough shape of lightning, and then glued it to the model and painted it white. And then I did end up using the Army Painter Effects paints to paint it a kind of bright blue. With both the principal subjects out of the way, it's time for me to move on to the part of the diorama that I have next to no experience with, the terrain. I think the last time I built anything remotely similar to this was like a project for science class in middle school. So I basically have no muscles built up when it comes to doing this kind of exercise. So I was kind of winging it with some inspiration from other creators on YouTube. To create the base of the terrain that I would start with, I swiped an idea from Rogue Hobbies and used expanding foam to create what would become the terrain. However, the foam itself was a large misshapen mass, so I had to get to work with the only tool I had to try and sculpt this into what I was envisioning into my mind.
Let me see what you have! No!
Once I had the expanding foam sculpted into a terrain shape that I liked, things started to come together quickly as I airbrushed the foam from this off-white color that it came out of the can in to an ochre, placed the Gunpla where I wanted them, using the arms from some action bases and hot gluing them into holes punched into the expanding foam. And then placing trees and some little foliage, flowers and grass scattered around the scene. And after all that, we finally have the finished diorama. But before I show you the pictures of the finished product, I do have to apologize for the presentation, as it became necessary for me to just take pictures of it at my work table, as I do not have a light box big enough to accommodate the diorama. As, at least in footprint, the diorama is about twice as wide as my homemade light box. And that was my first diorama that I've ever created as a hobbyist. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating the diorama. Please like and subscribe, and especially comment down below. I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. I think feedback on the things we do is important, and I want to take everything into consideration as long as it's constructive. It might be a bit before the next video because I got another project, another diorama that I am planning on working on, and it's going to be even bigger than this one. So stay tuned for that. I will try and upload another smaller video, so it's not months in between this one and the next one. So be looking out for that as well. I'll catch you on the next one. Later. To touch briefly on my thoughts on the model kit, as Jesus.